for validations up here, it doesn't show the custom ones, right? Let me see, boost. Nope. Me? Nope. Angular, no. This is REST. Modularized. Oh, guess I don't have one. Well, I can use this. Okay, so let me just build it out real quick. Okay. So, what do I need in here? Can you guys see that? I need npm init, right? -y. Then you can run npm install express, mongoose, EJS, body parser, path, express session, express flash. Dang, that's a lot.
Efficient body parser and path. Do we need that because we're not using that?
I've been using body parser, but yeah, you haven't, like, there's a way to do it without body
I
parser.
haven't been using
Yeah.
it, but I'm having issues or something.
For which assignment? You don't use rec.body?
I use it.
He uses it, but I looked at one of his files and he has that URL statement, like URL config.
Encoded?
But it's not body parser.url config, it's express.url config.
Why'd you do that?
It worked though. It worked and he didn't need to import it.
For my Postgres, I just need the URL.
URL encoded and then extended true.
Right. So, oh, not that line.
I'll just clear that.
Yeah, I didn't install the body. You don't have body parser.
You should use it for the future. Okay, so now I need my server.py and my,
Actually, JS.
yeah, sorry. We need a server.js and is it views?
Yeah.
Views and static? Anything else? Okay. Okay, server.py. We need express, require express. App is the express object. What else do we need? Mongoose, require mongoose. And what else? This one is not this is express flash. Anything else?
To set the views, the EJS.
You guys remember that? What I'm supposed to write? I can go back here.
So how we put it up? I'm not saying view engine. Parentheses.
View engine, like that? Oh.
View and space engine.
thoughts for reviews.
What's in here?
Views. And to Thunder, DIR name, and then plus.
Like that. And then static 2.
Yeah, we gotta do app.views, express dot
Oh, right here.
views, express dot static.
Like that.
Without the quotes. The first one's without the quotes.
Okay.
And there's a parentheses after the static without the comma. Replaces with the
Like that.
yeah, and it's within
Oops. Okay. Then we need Mongoose, right?
Yes.
So require Mongoose, this guy. And then we can create a new user. And then one route. This route, let's create a app.get to request response and res.render index.ejs. What's this one's problem? Okay, so let's create our EJS. And run our server. Oh, we need one more thing. App.listen, port 8001. What is it? Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. Cache monitor deprecated, remove pass option.
That shows to us. I think that.
Alright, we'll do that later. Okay. Validations, right? So here we need a form. Action/process. Method equals post. Input text. Name. F name. Last name. Email. Input, submit. Okay, here's our form. I wonder if we need a break. Should we make it look nice? No, huh? So on this post route, I think they already built out the post route for us here in the server.js file. Oops. Here's this post route, and it's using the .then and .catch in order to handle the save function. Okay, so this .then and .catch are going to be in place of the callback function. Okay, so they're both, what's the word? Interchangeable? You could use either option.
Can you walk through what's happening inside of the .then?
Yeah, let me build the create function up here. So we have user.create. We'll pass in rec.body. We get the function, we'll get the error and user. So compared to the .then, or if we were to finish this one, if error exists, we're gonna handle the error here, right? And then else, we'll respond with the user.
So new user data is the user, right?
Yes, so here, that's a good point. It's the same thing. So new user data, all the new user is going to be caught in this variable for the .then. So the .then is the successful transaction. The .catch is the error that happens. Okay, so it's the same thing. I can do this part in this else statement, and then this error in this part. That's how they correlate or reflect each other. That makes sense? Okay, which one should you be more familiar with? Probably this one, right? But first, it might help you more to understand this better if you understand how this works. Okay, so do this first, and as you level up, try to implement the promises. Read more about promises, see how they work. It's not necessary or crucial to building an application, but when it comes to more advanced applications, you run into asynchronous problems and behaviors that you may not be able to understand. These promises they invented promises to handle the asynchronous problems that you would run into. Okay, we will deal with a type of promise called an observable once we get into Angular. Okay, but yeah, that's what those are. Okay, so let me take this out. Does this part make sense? What's going on here? Let me add name, not age. What do we do? F name and L name. This is a string and email. Okay. So if we look here on the validations page, in order to set, does it tell you how to set custom validations?
It mentions it at the bottom of the page, I think. I don't know what this is. Yeah.
Mongoose validator. It's probably not what we're looking for. So let me just copy this. So this one is setting the type, the required to true, and the minimum length to 6. So we'll just test this one out first. We'll do it for all of them, and except for this min length for the email. So let's take this out and this part out. So this redirect should be on the success part, but we'll actually redirect in both options to the same thing. Okay, so let's test it now. Submit, post to slash process. What did I name it?
The EJS maybe?
Oh, users. Redirect to the root, goes there, okay. Submit, okay, redirects, it brings us back here. But in the terminal, let's see. Let's trash that one. So here we get the error object, starting with this one. So validation error, email path is required, LNAME path is required, FNAME path is required. So what do you guys think that means? If we're sending information, but it's saying, giving us a validation error that it's required. What does that make you think of when you hear that? Yeah, we need to check what's the data that we're trying to put in that's saying something is required. Okay, so if it's empty, we would need to print. Here, we should print the rec.body and see what exactly are we trying to insert into the database, right? So let's console log rec.body rec.body. Still running? Yeah. So let's try it again. Submit cannot handle property body of undefined. So it's saying we have body, but rec is undefined, right?
What's the dot right after the quotes? Is that supposed to be there?
Oh, maybe that was it. Let's try it again. Submit. Yeah, I guess that one was the case there. Let's try to find our rec.body. Here we go. So our body's not being passed, our data's not being passed over correctly. So what would you guys do if we now know that our data is not being passed over correctly to the server?
So but it is matching the object, right?
It is matching the object, but the body's not coming in the first place.
Yeah.
So what handles post data in our server?
The body parser?
Body parser. Right, so that's where I would look first.
Oh.
Did we include body parser? We did not. So let's go back and get it. Is it in here? Oh, it's in
It's
Express, huh?
I don't remember it in the platform.
It's
Like I ended up finding it on my own, but I don't think it was mentioned in the
it's on the
platform.
get and post part.
Oh, it is.
It's definitely in there, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. URL encoded.
Oh, so that's the other line. Like, you use that, right, Sean?
Yeah, that's the
So
one
he
I'm
just
using.
uses that and it works without body parser, but it's body parser dot URL encoded instead of express there.
Let's see here. Dependencies. No. Express. This line. HTTP. Const body parser. Not JSON. Dang, now I can't remember how it works. We'll add it. We need this too. Well, if you guys find it, let me know. Let's try this for now. Why is this an error? Okay, try it again. Submit, come back here. You still have validation errors. LName path Iono is shorter than the minimum length allowed. Okay, so we're not getting any creation issues other than the flash messages that we have on there. All right, so if we print it, we can send, we know that it's getting caught here. It's trying to create it, right? But let's try to actually create something more. So submit. Then we have down here, here's the rec.body information, and here's the user created information. Okay, so the validations were being caught up here with min length of 6 and 6. And when they didn't pass, all the error messages were inside of the error object. Okay, so inside the platform, it shows you how to handle that with here. With this for loop, right? You guys remember when we did this in Python? We created a for loop and populated all the messages into the flash object. So that would go in the error handling part. Okay. Registration, let's call this login instead. And then on the front end, we need this flash message up here. Okay, so if we tested that, what does it say? Eval messages is not defined. Not redirect. Where were we just at? Oh, here. Registration. Flash message with the tank content would populate here.
You forgot app that use Flash.
Oh, this one.
The one below it.
Oh, we have this one. Is it the same? Yeah.
No, the one below it.
This one.
Yeah.
Which one?
Body parser, not using it.
Not using it. I forget the code to write it in there, but it seems to work for now. In the when we're passing JSON data back and forth, you're going to need it. So I would just for now continue to keep that in there. Okay, let's try it again. Rec.flash requires session. Do we install session?
Required.
Express session. Okay. Don't forget your dependencies, guys. Or just call it session. Express session.
Spell requirement.
Oh. Where's session at? Is that also in Express? It is. So then I need this. Okay. All right. So submit. Should get these error messages. Good eye. Good eye. Log in. Okay, so that's the last name for the middle one. If I did none of them, all three of them would show up. And then just a L name, right? So now we need to do custom messages. So inside of these messages, they would be here, require true, min length of 6. I think I have it done here. There we go. So, where is this messing up at?
Maybe an extra curly bracket.
Okay, so now before we had require is true and then min length of 6. So to add custom messages based on the specific validation that you're doing, right? For in this case, it's required. So pretty much the min length is 0 is what it's asking. You would add inside of that required key an array with the first index being the true, the Boolean. The second index would be the error message. Okay, so same thing in here. If you wanted to add a validation for the min length, first parameter would be 2, and then second parameter must be greater than 2. And this one should actually be, this is required or something, or cannot be empty, maybe. Something like that. Okay, and these are for custom messages. So now if we try them again, hit submit, we have cannot be empty. For if we just add 1, should test the min length of 2, we have must be greater than 2.
What if you want the validation to inline with like the text box?
So inside of here, it would be like between these input tags. I'll let you guys figure that out. Right? Okay, it's very similar to how we did it in Django. Like almost, the logic is almost exactly the same.
Do they have tags or something?
Similar to that, right? I named, hint here, I named it login
Oh, okay.
to access the specific messages that I put in to the key given here of login.
So you can do like messages dot first name, messages dot last name, messages dot email.
Based on whatever key you give it.
Okay.
So here I'm just doing a for loop that's getting all the errors and putting it all in the same key, which is login. If you know how to access the specific message inside of the error object, you can just target that one and put it in its own specific flash message with its own key. Okay. If you don't know how to traverse into the error object, you can just look into it right here. Right? This is the entire object, and traverse and find the path to that custom message. Okay. Yeah. And that's pretty much it for validations on this side. Any questions?
So for like an email validation, we would have to use that that module.
You mean this one?
No, the like on the platform at the bottom of the page, it was like Mongoose validator or something for like custom validations, because like email to check if it matches the format.
Yeah, you can, but you can also put it on here too.
You can make it match the format on there.
Yeah, custom format, and use regex to build out that format, and put your regex formula here and test it against it in Mongoose. So it does have it, and I think that's pointing to other Mongoose libraries that just make it easier,
Okay.
right? But this is what it's doing in the background anyways.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, I'm gonna stop this recording now. I'm gonna do it.
I dare you. Do it.
You don't think I will?
Oh.
I'm gonna do it, guys.